Okay, hello. Just an insight on quality. Quality is an integral part of every operations, an integral part of supply chain management as well. Oh, it's a very important variable for supply chain managers, but today we're going to look at it in the context of operations management. And we're going to just have a discussion on some of these points here on what quality is. So there are so many definitions of quality, quite subjective. All depends on the sector you might be in or your experience of what quality really is or what quality really should be. So, I'd like to talk about this one first, quality being fit for purpose or being fit for use. And it always reminds me of the Sale of Good Act, actually. So the Sale of Good Act speaks about quality being fit for purpose. And it's an act that protects consumers. So if something is not fit for use, then it will not be seen as being a quality product, right? So from a legal perspective, quality also has a say, right? And then we have I always tell students that TQM is really getting it right the first time, every time, all the time. And that in itself, as you see here, is another definition of quality. Getting something right every time, all the time, not sometimes, not once a week or once every 10 hours, but every single time. Might be difficult to achieve, but if you work on it, it can be achievable. So that's another definition. And then we have value. So, value or worth. And that reminds me of resale value, for example. Some cars in the automobile sector tend to have a strong resale value. And when we think quality, we tend to refer to those type of cars. And then we have the conformance of a standard. And when we think standards, we think ISO, and we think BSI standards, ISO 9001. And we also think ISO 9001 on quality, and there's a BSI standard and quality as well. When we think quality, we also think about freedom from deficiencies or freedom from defects. All right. And, this reminds me of Six Sigma. Six Sigma targets defects or targets variations. And Six Sigma, I see it as a quality tool addressing or ensuring that we eliminate muda. Japanese word for waste, MUDA, muda, ensures that we eliminate muda and that quality remains up. When quality is down, we will have more defects, we will have more errors and so on, more variations, right? So tools like Six Sigma, for example, and the intervention of the fishbone diagram, also called the Ishikawa diagram or the cause and effect diagram, the intervention of those tools will get us closer to quality, right? So just wanted to talk about that in the context of defects, right? And the customer, the customer in many cases help define quality or help redefine quality over and over. So once upon a time, the mobile phone, a quality mobile phone was a phone that could make phone calls and send a text message. But now, the mobile phone is almost as powerful as a laptop, right? It can do things that the laptop cannot even do. So a mobile phone, the whole development of the mobile phone, right, came about as well through demands made by consumers as well. Consumers wanted something more, and we still want more, right? So even in the service industry, consumers tend to define at times what is good service, right? Because you will always get customer feedback from time to time. So the customer, so quality is what the customer, I would say what the customer wants, right? Or what the customer perceives as being the right quality, right? Quality is very subjective. Very. What is quality for me may not be quality for you, and vice versa. Right, and then so you have features that make consumer needs and so on, and give customer satisfaction. Right, so I think I basically spoke about that. So this is quality in a nutshell. Now, before I go, I want to talk about the culture of quality. All right. When culture in itself, sorry, is the way we behave, the way we do things, the way we act, the way we perform on the job, the way we act on the job, the way we act home, many things, our way of life. And a culture of quality is basically a situation where, from an organizational perspective, a situation where quality is ingrained into the organization's day-to-day activities. It's in the philosophy of the organization. They breathe it, they think it, everything they do is quality. All right. So if there's a defect or a sign of a defect, everyone looks out for each other. Right. Someone will raise an alarm. So there's always an eye out for perfection. So a quality culture is a culture where perfection is embedded into the organization, right? And that perfection can only be present if there's a quality of culture, or culture quality, right? In a quality culture, it's a safer environment as well. If you have a quality culture, you may have less clutter, less errors. Now, errors can injure people. Errors can cause danger to the work environment. So a culture of quality is a safer environment to work, right? A culture of quality that exists in a city, for example, tends to be a safer city, right? So a culture of quality, I mean, we may argue that this should start, it should be the philosophy of the organization, and that should maybe trickle down to other parts of the organization, or all through the veins of the organization. But I want to bring this up as well. I want to make this point. Leadership is critical. It is leaders who help employees or the team inculcate this philosophy, right? So leaders, one leader at the top can do this. One leader at the top can get others to buy in, to drive this whole quality agenda, all right? So leadership is key in a quality culture. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.